Dear viewers, our topic today is Science-Religion Combat in Bacon's Time. In the early 17th century, significant scientific and literary trends emerged that reshaped the intellectual landscape of Europe. The scientific revolution was gaining momentum. It was marked by a shift from traditional Aristotelian views to empirical observation and experimentation. Aristotelian views. Aristotelian philosophy was rooted in the teachings of ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle. It had long dominated European thought. It emphasized deductive reasoning and the reliance on established authorities. In the scientific context, Aristotelian views dictated that knowledge could be derived through logical deduction from general principles, without the need for systematic experimentation. It implies that Aristotle was in favor of deductive approach, which is based on believing in what established authorities say. Empirical approach. Contrastingly, the emerging empirical approach advocated for the importance of observation and experimentation in the pursuit of knowledge. Empirical approach emphasized the collection of data through sensory experience and the formulation of conclusions based on systematic observation of the natural world. This shift laid the foundation for the empirical method, which is a hallmark of the scientific revolution. Copernican heliocentric model. One historical example illustrating this transition is the heliocentric model proposed by Nicholas Copernicus in the early 16th century. While Aristotelian cosmology held that the Earth was the center of the universe, Copernicus' heliocentric model, which was based on empirical observations, positioned the Sun at the center and challenged centuries-old beliefs. Theological stance. The geocentric model of the Earth, which positioned Earth at the center of the universe, was indeed supported by the Christian Church during certain periods in history. This perspective was influenced by the interpretation that as Christ was born on earth, it held a special and central significance in the divine order. The geocentric view aligns with the theological notion of earth as a focal point in the cosmic drama of creation, reflecting the belief in a purposeful and designed universe with Earth at its core. This perspective was reinforced by the passages in the Bible that suggested Earth's special status in the eyes of the divine. Opposition of church authorities. Galileo Galilei, a contemporary of Bacon, further contributed to the shift with his telescopic observations, providing empirical evidence supporting the heliocentric model. His work faced opposition from the Catholic Church, illustrating the clash between traditional Aristotelian views and the emerging empirical scientific approach. Bacon's role. Bacon himself played a pivotal role in advocating for the scientific method. He emphasized the importance of systematic inquiry and the accumulation of knowledge through direct experience. Bacon championed empiricism and inductive reasoning in his writings. He emphasized the importance of direct observation and experimentation to gather evidence. rejecting reliance solely on deductive reasoning. Bacon believed that by systematically collecting and analyzing data from the natural world, one could derive general principles and laws forming the basis of scientific method. His ideas laid the groundwork for the empirical approach and inductive reasoning that became fundamental to modern science. Bacon recommends inductive approach. Bacon's ideas on empiricism and inductive reasoning are prominently presented in his philosophical works, especially in his essays and the Novum Organum. Novum Organum, or the new instrument for the interpretation of nature and the discovery of truth, is a philosophical work which elicited admiration from the intellectual circles of Europe. It was written by Francis Bacon and it was published in 1620. It explores his ideas on the methodology of scientific inquiry and advocates for a new approach to acquiring knowledge through empirical observation and experimentation. Additionally, his essay of studies emphasizes the importance of direct experience and practical knowledge. Bacon's goal was to help society make a move towards greater experimentation, observation, and analysis instead of just logic-based arguments for claims. In his essay of superstition, he discusses the dangers of blindly accepting beliefs without empirical scrutiny. While these essays provide insights into Bacon's empirical and inductive approach, it is important to note that his ideas were spread across various works, and the entire collection of his essays contributes to understanding his philosophical stance on scientific methodology. Influence of humanism. Simultaneously, the Renaissance had fostered a revival of classical literature and a renewed interest in humanism. This literary movement celebrated human intellect, creativity, and individualism. It challenged the dominance of medieval scholasticism. The era saw the publication of influential literary works such as Shakespeare's plays that reflected a deep exploration of human nature and the complexities of the human experience. Implications of intellectual transformations. These intellectual transformations had profound implications for religious faith. The scientific revolution prompted a reassessment of traditional religious beliefs, as empirical discoveries sometimes contradicted established dogma. The emphasis on reason and observation challenged the unquestioning acceptance of religious authority, leading to a gradual separation of science and theology. The humanistic ideals of the Renaissance, while not inherently anti-religious, encouraged a more secular focus on the individual and worldly matters. It further influenced the evolving relationships between faith and reason in Bacon's time. To conclude, as scientific observations and evidence accumulated, especially during the scientific revolution, there was a shift away. Figures like Galileo Galilei faced opposition from the Church when supporting the heliocentric model proposed by Copernicus. Finally, science gained ground and overcame dogmatic approach. Thank you very much.